Here we go again, another Friday, My Home Group Studios. We're, our full staff is behind us. We've got cameramen everywhere, lighting people. Actually, Kelly was our whole staff and she just left, so now we're on our own. Here we are, July 31st. Blows my mind that it's July 31st.
End of July already?
Still COVID.
So fast.
It's like you wake up and it's like still COVID, and it's like, man, it's, it's crazy.
Hey,
I wasn't here last week. I was over in San Diego, and I got to tell you, the hardest part about being in San Diego is leaving San Diego, because it's 45 degrees cooler, and it's
we're melting here, and you're basking in the sun there.
We hit a record yesterday, 116. So
That's right.
anyway,
Yep.
so July, we're putting July behind us. Once we get into August, we know that it's the worst month in Arizona as far as heat. But when August is over,
Starts getting better.
we're getting to the best
We
time
could use
of
more
year.
rain though.
Yes,
Definitely,
definitely need that.
Definitely need rain. The one thing that's good about August 1st this year is it's actually the restart of the hockey season.
Oh, there you go.
And,
Go Blackhawks.
Fortunately,
Yes.
Blackhawks are in it.
Yeah.
The Coyotes are in it. I'm always I'm an ABB guy, anybody but Boston. So whoever Boston's playing, I'm a big fan. I don't care. I don't care if I know somebody on their I just not Boston.
It's just too bad you're a Sox fan. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
not
you.
really a problem where I
Sox
come
here.
from. I'm surrounded today by Cub fans.
No, I hate the Cubs. I hate the Cubs.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
There
no,
you
I'm
go.
a Cardinal fan.
You just even
No.
the score.
Oh, Cardinals.
Oh my God, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
We need
I'm a
to
huge
buy out
Cardinals
here.
fan.
Really? Wait, I brought a hat.
Yeah.
I brought a
Oh!
hat. Same like Cardinals.
I like the Cardinals too.
I'm a huge
Yeah.
Cardinal fan as well. Because when they
When they
play the
lose,
Cubs a lot.
that's when I'm a huge fan.
I thought you had one.
Totally
They
kidding.
play the Cubs.
Where-
Okay, so today we're doing something a little bit different. Both of these folks are a little bit newer to my home group. They both recently came to my home group, and they both have teams. And we want to talk a little bit today about their path in real estate and how they decided to have a team, and then why they decided to bring that team over to my home group. So I'll start with Amy, ladies first.
Okay.
Amy Langbehn. Why don't you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about
Yeah,
where you're
been
from,
in
how you
business.
got into real estate, how you ended up having a team, and
Yep.
take as long as you like and give us the story.
Oh, thank you. All right, well.
Oh, wait, one question.
Yes.
If you have questions, please send them in.
Send them in.
Send them in, and we're happy to answer any questions that you might have. Sorry, Amy.
No worries, no worries. So, yep, Amy Langbehn, the group's called the Langbehn Group, and we go by TLG. I've been doing real estate for, do I look there? Do I look at you?
You can look at us. You can
I don't
look
know,
at
I'm not used
There's
to this
no-
at all. I'm
there's
like,
no
one and
right
done
or
on
wrong.
this. One and done.
Yeah, one and
Anyway,
done.
one and done, one and done. Let's see, I have been in real estate for 17 years, almost 18, full-time as an individual agent. And I think about 2-3 years ago, I started a team. I was with another company, and they're more known for independent agents. And I loved that company, felt like family, it was wonderful.
What company was that?
Very
It's okay,
loyal,
we can-
very
yeah.
loyal to that company and the broker. Berkshire Hathaway.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great. But as far as team goes, I wasn't getting the support that I needed, and I was really growing rapidly and not, kind of flailing as I think a team, what I needed to do for the team. So
Within their structure?
yeah, just providing the structure they needed, also the commission structure and plan, the systems in place that I needed. So yeah. So.
And are you a native Arizonian?
No, I'm from Springfield, Illinois. Born and raised, but I've been here since about I was 24. So I'm
First time on the show that
Native.
everybody from here is from Illinois, so.
yeah, Midwest.
town.
Midwest crew. So we had some growing pains, but success at Berkshire, and I don't know. I knew my home group felt like home to me. I loved it when I came over from the very beginning, from Tula to Michael to Mark, Jeremy, who else? Larry, of course, the broker. It's always been great. He's always accessible here, and I think in a month I've done more for the group than I did in 2 years, just with regard to setting up systems that make everybody more successful and productive and all that.
What is it that you think my home group provided you that was so much different than?
Michael's coaching. I'm like, stop, I can't take it anymore. It's only been a month. You know? Just give me a break. Yeah,
No, I love to do that stuff. So.
yeah. It's been good. Really good.
So when did you decide to like start a team? I know you've been a successful realtor for a long time, but at what point did you decide, you know what, I'd like to start a team?
You know what? It was really organic. I didn't go, oh, I want to be a team leader. I feel like I'm more of a servant leader, like helping others as an independent agent, single agent, you know, by myself. I work all markets. I think sometimes I'm known for luxury, but I really do like first-time home buyers. I love that excitement. I was a school psychologist before I did this, so
really?
I work with children with special needs. Not that, you know, I always say I'm certified 21 and under, so if you're over 21, you're safe. You know, I'm not going to analyze you. But the agents on my team are newer, relatively newer, and I love helping them and supporting them, and that energy and providing, you know, so they don't make the pitfalls and the same mistakes I did during some of those times, and they can achieve success quicker, maybe.
So would you say your team is based on mentorship because they're all younger, newer agents?
I think so for sure. Yeah, that's just kind of how it's organically happened. I've been referred agents, and you know, just they're doing great. They're doing great. I'm proud of them, and try to put them on a fast track to success. And
that's a tough thing. I tried it myself, and there was another guy that used to be with my home group that him and I started a team, and it was for some reason the team attracted females, and they were all kind of older gals that were either, you know, kind of stuck in a hole or newer agents.
yeah,
So it really seemed more like a mentorship
Yeah.
than it did, you know, it's not like we weren't supplying leads and we weren't spending a bunch of money on Zillow and so we were just, you know, it was a work ethic thing. It was
Yeah.
kind of where it was almost like you were a sales trainer I mean, we were team leaders, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but it seemed like we spent a lot of time teaching. Would you say that's true?
it's true. Yeah, definitely true. But I love it.
So if there's agents out there that are looking for that,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
absolutely.
available for.
Yep.
How many teams do we have at?
Oh gosh,
50?
Kelly and I were just talking about this. I think we're just suppressing 50 teams.
Wow.
So right around.
So
50
think about the
teams.
diversity and all the different things that are offered as far as teams. And I know teams are always trying to grow. Some are, some aren't. But so there's so much that you know my home group has to offer in the way of team.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not a big sales pitch for a team. I mean, if you're
No.
interested in a team.
Well, that's the
then all
whole
of a
thing
sudden
about my
there's-
home group is it doesn't matter if you're on a team or not. If you want to be a solo agent, great. If you want to be on a team, great. And the opportunity's there. And you're so right about the diversity of the teams because we have teams that are smaller, like their teams are not I mean, not tiny, but they're smaller teams versus some of the bigger teams like BTG and Lawton who have over 100 agents.
Yeah, no, that's
So-
not my goal.
Right, and that's
I
what's
want
so
to be
great
just smaller,
about it.
boutique, provide great service.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
you have those options. You know,
Right,
so,
sure do.
Yeah. Now, so back to a little bit about you. You're starting this team. What made you decide to be more on the mentorship side? Is that just kind of where it fell into?
Yeah, I think it just
or?
organically happened. Kids. They're not kids. They're not kids. I'm sorry, guys. They're not kids. They're my kids. Yeah, I enjoy helping them. They've been referred to me, and I'm like, sure, no problem. Let me help you out. And yeah, you're right.
Are you a mom?
I am a mom. I'm a mom.
It shows.
Aw,
No,
yeah.
but it shows. I mean,
Well, I love them. I love the agents in my group. I want them to do great, and you know, their success is my success, and yeah.
let's find a little bit about your story, and then
Yeah.
we'll kind of combine, So, Krzysztof Okolita, right?
That's right.
Saying it right? Okay.
Yep, you got it.
Tell us a little bit about you personally and how you ended up in real estate, how you ended up in Arizona, how you ended up forming a team, and then kind of how'd you end up at my
Sure,
home?
absolutely.
Was there anybody like with a gun or anything?
No, nobody forced me. Nobody forced me. It was.
It was North Side Chicago. Guys. Not very tough. It's South Side guys.
We're tough. We're plenty tough.
Yeah.
But no, so originally from Barrington, Illinois as well. So all Chicago people. I've been an entrepreneur. I've been really self-employed since I was 16 years old, maybe even 15. Had one real job, I guess, that you might classify it. Worked at a bank. Started out as a loan officer, then went to doing kind of more statistics and reading reports, and became a project analyst. And then, so after being there for 9 years, the opportunity to get laid off came up, and I was like, the opportunity to get laid off. And you know, I've always been an entrepreneur since I was young, and I've owned multiple businesses, done a lot of different things, succeeded, failed, everything. But I had a lot of friends in the real estate business, and
Back in Chicago? Or
no, out here. So I talk to them all the time. I'm like, hey, you know, how's work? You know, how's real estate? They're like, oh my God, it's busy. I'm making this and doing that, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, give it a shot. So I got into real estate just 4 years ago, believe it or not. And there's a little paragraph that I have above my computer. It says, God's gifted you with the ability of leadership. So what you do with it is your decision, right? So I take that, I look at it every day, and I think about my team now and what I could do to help them out, what I could do to better them with some type of training or videos or whatever it may be. And then it's become something that I really, really love. I love the real estate, you know, the ability. I guess the day that I decided it wasn't all about the money, it was about helping people.
Yes.
It was a night and day difference.
Absolutely, yes.
Night and day difference. Yeah. And it's just, you know, we're a new team. We only started the team March 15th, I believe. And since March 15th,
wait. Like Corona started like the 16th.
Yeah.
So you. Wow.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I remember.
You were in the middle of a move too, so.
Right,
Yeah.
so I moved from another brokerage and came here, and the opportunity and the support that I got here just took me to that next level where with everything I was doing with real estate, I started to need help, and I'm like, okay, well maybe it's time to get a team. It's taken off and it's been amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So did you have a team before you got to
No.
Marlowe? So you started that here.
No.
How did you go about finding people to join your team?
Michael? Michael, please send me some people.
Okay.
No, so there's I posted a couple of ads and spoke to some of the people that were with me at the other brokerage. Some of them transferred over. Some of them were existing My Home Group agents that joined the team. So it's really just been a mix of promoting and putting it out there on social media and Michael.
Awesome.
So talk a little bit about, you were one of the top producers before you came over too. So you've been in production, doing very well at it for a while. Right?
Yes. So my very first year in real estate, 18 transactions, and whoever says open houses don't work,
We agree with you on that one.
let me tell you, the first year, all of my efforts were through open house. And I got to the point where I started thinking, what can I do to make this open house better? What could I do to make this stand out? What could I do to draw more traffic? And I believe I've mastered it to the point where back at the old brokerage, I actually did a class on it as well. I love open houses. So with that kind of took me to my next step. My next step was doing some type of marketing and whatnot. But I mean, open houses, free leads, people come to you, you know. And I always tell when I was teaching the class, I always told the people at the class, I go, if you're going to do an open house, don't go there for 3 hours, right? Nobody's going to come knock on your door. So stay there extended time. I usually do an open house for 6 to 8 hours.
And do you have certain days of the week? Do you sit there 3 days a week?
So when I first got into the business, I did it like every other day. And then I would put a little sign that says, I'll be back soon, when I had to go pick up the kids from school, right?
Yeah.
But, of course, I would clear that with the agent, let them know that I'm gonna take, the house that was sitting, the time off to go get the kids, but, yeah, it's
Well, yeah, I like what you said there, because I similar thing, when I started out, my first year, I did like 10 deals my first year. I was doing part-time real estate at the time because I was still working with some investors on the fix and flip things that I was doing, but what I found was I did something similar. I always did vacant houses. That was just my favorite thing to do, was do a vacant home.
Yeah.
And then I had a rule, like, so if it was busy, so let's say I was doing 11 to 2, that would be my time, and I would always ask that agent, can I stay open if it's busy? And they would say, yeah. So I had this half-hour rule, so if someone showed up, I would stay open another half hour. And there's so many times that I stayed open till 6, 7 o'clock because people just kept coming.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is
Or
awesome.
they come right when you shut down, 4 o'clock, you're like,
Right,
that's
right.
12 people, you know?
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
sit at that open house
Yeah.
and not have anybody come for an hour, hour and a half, and
Yeah.
you're like, should I close 10, 15 minutes early?
Yeah, that you're shutting off the lights, you're
Yeah,
putting away the
and then all of a
food,
sudden
like,
people
oh,
start coming
my
up.
God.
Well, the other thing that I did was I treated it like my office. So
Yeah.
when no one
Yeah.
was in, I was working. I was
Sure.
like sending emails, or I was researching, or I was doing
Yeah.
something. So I always had something to do. I always
Yeah.
made sure I had something
Yeah.
to do.
So you agree open houses?
Oh yeah, I've sold the first year as rookie of the year, my first year in the business, and I did everything and anything that first year. You're talking about your first year. I definitely held open houses, baked cookies, above and beyond. But I didn't door knock. I didn't door knock before that, but I definitely went into the inventory, so I knew the market. I was able to, you could sell the house down the street. People that come into the house, they don't want that house. You sell the house across the street. I've done that, same neighborhood. But my first year, I did everything, and I teach my agents to do everything, try everything. Whether it's cold call might be for them, calling expires. It's not for me. I'm more of a relationship person, repeat referral, open house, getting talking real estate and the prospecting with your sphere, but definitely open houses. I'm trying to think. Also, we had call, phone call. When people would call in, we don't have that anymore because people can find so much on the internet now. I mean, I feel like a dinosaur. I'm 50, so I've been doing it a long time, almost 18 years.
Well,
Started when I was
that's
30. Yeah.
So my first year in the business, I did the same thing. I ended up here because everybody else had all this training. Keller Williams and all these different brokerages offered all this training, but it was all sales training. And I was like, well, I could teach your sales training. I don't need sales training.
Right.
I need to know how to write a contract, and I need
Yeah.
real estate training.
Right.
So initially, that's why I came here. They had so much. It was such a culture of everybody helping everybody, and it still stands that way today.
True.
So my first year, I did open house every day.
Yeah.
I found a house that was listed by a My Home Group agent. It was vacant, and it was way overpriced, and it was perfect. And I learned the value.
Because you can hang out.
Right, you learn the value. It was a flip. It was overpriced. She was never going to get it. I didn't know that at the time. I was like, well, yeah, I'll probably sell this house.
Yeah.
Not a chance. But I said open house every single day. And in the morning, I would find a CE class or some class I could go to, and then I'd go sit there in the back. And then you were talking about the other spheres, about making cold calls and all that. Well, if you can kill two birds with one stone,
Yeah.
sit in an open house and make phone calls,
Yeah.
what's the difference
Or
if you're
work-
sitting in the office or if you're sitting in an
Yeah.
open house?
Yeah.
The chance somebody might knock on the door and say,
Yeah.
I'm looking for a realtor.
Yeah, work your
So-
database.
How's that going to happen in the office? That's
Yeah.
not
That's why I
happening in
say
the
make
office.
it like an office.
I agree.
Spend the day, work there, and
I got to the point where I didn't even take my stuff with me because I was coming back the next day.
Yeah.
And the realtor, she was super nice gal, and she's like, yeah, just leave your stuff there. I just put my signs in the garage, so I could put my signs out in my sleep by the time I was done. Because
Yeah.
same place every
Right.
day, open house, open house, open house.
And how long have you been doing real estate?
As an agent, 6 years.
6
But
years.
I've been in real estate for about 15.
Yeah.
So I was a loan officer, and then I was a title rep, and I was a rookie of the year too.
Yeah.
So there's 2 out of 4 of us that
I-
were rookie of the year doing open houses. So I mean, I'm not a member of Mensa, but 2 plus 2. I mean, it's pretty simple. So
I was good at converting the that floor calls. So I was good at converting those leads too, which was fun.
Yeah.
But we don't, floor.
My strength has always been face-to-face. If
Yeah.
I can get face-to-face, I feel like I can win 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Just, I have that confidence in myself to create a relationship just
Right.
like that.
It's very important.
Yeah, so it's a gift or you gotta learn to do it. So we had a couple people. Katie Watson is letting us know about all of her
Hey,
listings.
Katie.
Oh, she's on my team. I
Yeah.
told her she's got a couple listings coming out.
Yeah.
We're trying to promote our listings.
Nice.
Sorry, Katie, but I can't go through all your listings.
Well, we want to
Um,
sell them to my home group agents.
But, well, I'm gonna talk about that actually.
Okay.
Emily Journey, Amy, what is your key to success?
Having people like you around me.
Who? Mike?
Emily.
Oh.
And Johnny and Michael, yes, absolutely. It takes a village, and I like to provide VIP service, and that comes with not only my service delivery as an agent, but also the lender, the title rep, the support we get from the brokerage. Larry's accessible as a broker; he's on property all the time, and creating that VIP service from all aspects to my client.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Emily's with my muscular moving mat, and I've used them for
She's one of
many
our
years.
partners.
Yeah, she's a great promoter. I'm always trying to promote her too. And
so there's always a common thread whenever we do this show. We've been doing it now for a couple of months. It's all team. If you're not tied in with a title company and a lender and a home warranty and a home inspector, man, you're missing the boat.
a
You're just missing mine.
roofer, a painter, an AC.
Yeah, you just gotta have that bundle. Just that bundle
Well,
package.
it really expands the team when you do that
Yeah.
because there are so many resources they have that do help your agents along with what you're providing. So,
Well, not only that, but for me, and you'll speak to this too, is there's things that you're good at, and then there's things that you're not good at. And if you surround yourself with people that can help you with what you're not good at,
Yeah.
I mean, lawyer's title for me, I could barely turn my computer on without screwing it up. I mean, I'm 58 years old. They didn't even have computers when I started my business. We were barely on electricity.
I remember the typewriter in college. So,
Yep.
Yeah, so it's, so that, I surround and Taylor at Lawyers, she does stuff on my computer that I have to call and say, hey,
what'd you do?
I don't know how to do this. I mean, can you come over? She goes, oh yeah. She's got to slow down and say, okay, Johnny,
Aw.
the round peg goes in the round peg. and
Everything you need to know, you learned in kindergarten.
yeah, I mean, it's like, there's just so many different ways to get help. And I'm going to go right back to what both of you guys said. My home group, I've had agents sit up. We're upstairs in what we call the senior wing, and the smartest, newest agents I know sit right out here and they just sit and listen all day long.
Yeah.
Because Neil Brooks and Carl Eisenberg and Larry and Mark and Jeremy, all these people are up here with all this knowledge,
Yeah.
and they just learn. They just soak
Yeah.
it up and just learn, and it's amazing. And my home group has just created such an incredible culture that this isn't a sales pitch for my home group, but then again, maybe it is. I mean, it's it's just, to me, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Without question, knowledge is power, and
But it saves deals and it creates deals, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about, and each of you can jump in on this, but and for anybody out there that's thinking of starting a team or even being part of a team, but let's talk a little bit about what went into the process of creating it. Because I've worked with both of you on this, but I'd like to hear your take on it because it's not easy, right, to
No.
start a team. So can you share a little bit about the experience of creating and what went into it?
Let's go first.
I'll go first.
You go first.
Let me get it out of there. It's a lot of work. First, determining what you want to be, who you want to be, what you want your team to look like, how big of a team do you want, what the structure is, what you're going to provide for your teammates, how you're going to hold their hand, how you're going to just be there for them, and do you have that time to do that? So I think that's important, right? So when I was building my team, I sat down and kind of just looked at everything and said, okay, where do I want to be? How do I want to do it? And what's my goal? You know, short-term goal, midterm, and long-term goals. And you know, just put it all on paper and weigh it out, and like, you know, here's where I'm at. Here's what we're doing. Here's where I need help. Here's where, you know, whatever it may be. And it takes a lot of time and effort, and it's not just, you know, turning on your computer every morning and doing your thing. You got to also think about who you got on your team and what they're doing and how you can help them and assist them. And you know, there's obstacles that come, you know, during a transaction, and you got to know how to answer those questions and know if you're ready to do that. So,
well, I know we talked about this in the beginning too, but you're right, because it's you have your own production. You've been successful realtors, and so the first thing that tends to suffer a little bit is the personal production because of how much time you're investing.
Absolutely. My 2 years, it was just so much energy, time, energy, effort, developing and supporting them, and you know, you're like, just get through it, get it done, because once it's in place, you'll be so happy, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
that's the goal, is to get
time management.
Yeah. For anybody starting a team, you want to try to get this done prior to really growing the team, because of how much time it does take. So having your compensation structure, your team agreement, your training manual, all that stuff in place. You gotta, you really gotta, and it's interesting because a lot of teams were just so excited, so they just start, oh, this person wants to join my team, and they sign them up. They don't really even have the team agreement done, but then they're trying to spend that time, and then they realize they have no time to complete their personal stuff that they need to have done.
My biggest challenge, and the reason I failed having a team, was I expected people to work just half as much as I did. If they worked half as much as I did, I'd have been happy. So if you put in 40 hours a week, I'm fine, because I'm doing 80. I'm doing 75 or 80. So and it was like it was like too much to expect from people.
Was it frustrating?
Yeah, it was like, you know, people go, yeah, I'm not making the money I want to. I didn't get this. I go, well, did you do an open house this weekend? How'd that go? Well, I didn't do one this weekend because I had an ingrown toenail. It's like, well, wait a minute. That's what I'm trying to teach you. Is that you got to get up and work. What's the biggest challenge to both of you? What's the biggest challenge of having a team? What do you find the biggest challenges?
Well, I think.
And if you're gonna not be honest, just say everything you're saying with one hand up. So we'll give you an out. I would say that.
I think the time management, making sure you're following up with your business, but also
yours or your teams?
Not my team management. I mean, yes, my team management as it relates to the time I serve the team and help them and support them, and Michael's helped me with systems to put into place so that if they don't have to turn to me all the time, they know where to turn. And my home group's put in those systems into place that we didn't have. That agent hotline, the broker hotline. I know agents in my group are super excited about doing the UX training.
It's coming up August 11th.
That's going to rock the world. They're going to be great. And then I did probably, because I have 2 speeds, 120 and maybe 0, and that's why I'm sleeping probably. But I did over 50 documents for my agents in my group, and I read through them, developed them. Yes, I pulled them from different places, but also
you created 50 documents.
I created 50, almost 60, and they are training documents for them. They're buyer's agent checklist, seller agent checklist, but they're also relationship, how to provide service to the client, helpful, how to prepare your home for sale for sellers. I kind of have not only training material in there for my agents for when they work with buyers and when they work with sellers, but I also have a lot of material in there so that they can provide VIP service to both the buyers and the sellers, and then it's in writing, and they can turn to it to learn.
It's also a time saver for you.
It's a time saver
because
for
then
me.
You can say, "Let me help you with that."
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And I was excited to work with her. I've worked with both of you on this, but and that's one of the things that I was impressing upon her was, you want to have this training manual that when they come in day one, here's your first week, here's everything you're going to do, and it saves a lot of time for her and for you is because they can follow along, and a lot of the questions are already answered in there that they may have for her. Now, they can still ask her the question, and they still
Right.
have.
Or maybe they
have
don't
her,
know that
but-
they even have that question, or they may not even know they have that question,
Yeah,
because they haven't
yeah.
gotten to that, but it's written down, these are the things you need to do.
So there's a foundation, because that could change as it goes too.
Yeah.
It's like, so like the documents that you've created, you know, another issue could come up, oh, I didn't even think to put that on there, so
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
updating them constantly.
And on the other side of it is, it saves her time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now she's not hand-holding, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's, instead of 2 hours of time, it's 30 minutes of time now, because of that. It's so well written that they can follow along in how to do things, and now they ask that question. It's more like it becomes one question or two questions versus 8 or 9 questions, and you can see the time difference that it saves you as a team leader.
What's your biggest challenge having a team?
Oh man, I'm gonna honestly say it's the time management as well.
Yours or the team's? Managing your time as a producing agent and a team leader, or the team's time?
I'm gonna say mostly on my end, you know, because when I log on every morning and I look at all my files and I do all my updates, and then I start doing searches, and then I'm like, oh my god, okay, wait, hold on. What does my teammate got going on? Does she need help with this one? You know, negotiating bins, or you know, I've got a few new agents, really like green peas,
Brand new, yeah.
brand new, and you know, I'm proud of my little team. Got a rock star agent. I got one that's a rock star in training, and you know, the one of the newest team members, she did 2 transactions this month. Her very first,
Wow.
first 2, and they were 2 weeks
Good.
apart. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Was it a brother, sister, mom?
No.
Did she get them through open house?
No, they were through our Zillow leads.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that next a little bit about, you know, what does your team structure look like? What do you provide for the team? So, so your personal as well as team, or
So that's your biggest challenge. What's the biggest success? What's the, tell me what makes you really happy about your team. I mean, watching these people,
Yeah.
obviously everybody's in it to make a buck, but let's stop there for 1 second. I always said, I was in the furniture business for 20 years, and you know, you would go into in a wholesale, so you would go in, it was always the kill for me. It wasn't even, I never thought about the commission. Like, if I sold this guy 2 truckloads of furniture, I'm gonna make a nice buck, right? But it was never, it wasn't like out of the order, wow. It was like,
Oh, I never
it was like
did
that
that.
was the gravy. It was
Yeah.
like the kill. It was like,
Yeah.
and it's still like that for
Yeah.
me in real estate. Just the close is just like, it's so awesome. You get
Yeah.
close, and then you're like, oh, and I get paid for this on top of it.
Yeah.
You guys feel that way?
Yes. But I
So-
work just as hard as a lower price point as I do a multi-million-dollar
I
price
tell people
point.
that
Right,
all
yeah.
the time.
And it does, I never think about it. People think you think about it, but I don't. You know,
I
I just
had-
want to, yeah.
I had clients, same time, I had a client buying a $1.8 million house in Silverleaf, and I had these kids. It was their first time, they were buying a $230,000 home, and it was impossible. We wrote like 5 offers, and we kept losing out.
Aw.
It was just tough.
We've been there.
And I had them in my
Especially
mind.
lately.
We've been there.
Oh,
We've been
no,
there.
I got a solution for that though, which I'm gonna bring up. And they'd be in my car, and I'd be talking to my clients from Silverleaf and all that. And then one day they go, you treat us the same way you treat them. I go, no, that's not true. I said, I actually treat you better. And they're like, what? I go, yeah, you know what? They've been around this block before. They've been to this movie before.
Aw.
So with you guys, I gotta make sure that I'm explaining everything. I don't
Yeah.
use acronyms with you guys. If you notice when I'm on the phone, I'm like, well, COE's this, and the
Yeah.
Windsor's this,
Mm-hmm.
and the Spuds this. I gotta tell you guys what all that looks like.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed how much they appreciated the fact that, wow, you get the
and not only that, but how
same-
much knowledge they gained because you explained everything. So
Yep.
the next time it's just that much easier for them. So.
But ultimately, they're going to their friends and saying, this guy explained everything.
Yeah.
This is the guy you
Yeah.
want to call.
Yeah.
Sure enough, we get them closed, their friends are buying the next month. The month after that, they got another friend buying. And it's like, so it just pays off, so,
That's awesome.
yeah.
You're popular today.
I am. I just gotta make sure it's not my wife. Other than that, if nobody's in
We're just all calling to how
Right,
the White Sox
so
lost.
one of the things that one of the things that happened with those clients I was just talking about, and with some other clients, is when you got buyers in that 250, 200 to 250, 300 range.
Yes.
Multiple offers,
Yes.
above asking. As long as you're not up against cash, you got to find a way to be equal. And I can tell you that one of the advantages of my home group for me is that I think we have 17% of listings in Maricopa County.
That's great.
So I figured out one day, and I've never claimed to be the sharpest tool in the shed, but sometimes the streetwise in me comes out.
Yeah.
And I found a property, my clients loved it, and it was a my home group agent. So I just called to my home group agent. I said, look, you're going to get X amount of dollars for this house. Your clients are going to get that money for this house. We're willing to pay that money. All I ask is that it come from my clients. That's all I'm asking. And let's keep it in-house. It's a my home group.
Right.
It's a my home group deal. We're both in on it. It's good for the brokerage. We can work anything out that comes along. Lo and behold, the other agent was like, Johnny, that's a great idea. We're going to go ahead and accept your offer. So think about that. There's more than one way to skin a cat. I mean, and in today's market, there's great agents out there struggling with this. Neil Brooks comes in here every day going, God dang, I can't find these people a house. And, it's just tough. So, yeah.
Johnny, I was going to tell you that you hit the nail on the head when it comes to our team is noticed coming from the other brokerage. Nothing wrong with the other brokerage, but how just the philosophy of the agents, the openness of the agents, the willingness to want to network with the agents and sell each other's properties. There was an agent named, is it Cheyenne, CHIANNE. Anyway, she posted it. She posted something that's going to go on market, and I have the buyer for it. And we're trying to create a deal together. Didn't even hit the market yet. So just spreading the word through my home group, and through that, it's just been super beneficial and productive for us. And we've noticed that sense of, family net,
Sure.
family, or
Yeah. And I'm agent number 86 here, and now we have 2,486.
Wow.
Oh, then I'm 2,483.
Well, I'll tell you something. There's a lot that's changed here, but the foundation of what this brokerage was built
That
on,
hasn't changed.
That hasn't changed. That's been the way it's been since I got here. I mean,
It's like the sweetest open door
it's
policy.
amazing to see
it
what
is.
this is
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
So I'm just realizing that the biggest difference between your teams is you started yours from within my home group,
Yes.
and you brought your whole team over.
Yep.
What has been the reaction to your team? Positive, negative, and please be honest.
From my home group?
Yeah,
Or
with
from
the changeover.
Oh, they're
and,
thrilled. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely thrilled.
and was it your leadership, or did everybody say, hey, we should look someplace? How did that work out? Your team, so it's probably your call, but
wait, I don't know sure I understand the question, but
when you left,
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't tell, I knew that it wasn't a good spot for us as a team. And so I was researching kind of without telling them, because I didn't want to upset the apple cart, but I thought I wanted a better place and a better environment for them as a team. And there's nothing against the other wrong with the other company at all. They're fantastic. And I love the agents there and the brokers, but this had such a nice system in place, and that was so supportive. And again, I can't say enough about Michael's mentorship.
No, thank you.
And guidance, coaching, guidance as a team leader. I mean, I've learned more in a short period of time, and I can't walk into your office. I'm like, I've got too much. Just let me just keep on doing what I'm doing now, and then I'll come back for another coaching session. But yeah, he's been great, and also just creating a structure on that commission plan. And it's not just commission when you look at your team leader agreement and team associate agreement. We just didn't have a good one at the other place, and I'm grateful that they stayed with me, because I don't know if I would have, but I will say that you were touching on things like what you provide for your team, but I also wrote up their expectations of what they can expect of me, like you wanted to talk about, but also what I expect of them. And I put that in the team agreement too. So I spent quite a long time writing that agreement too, with Michael's help.
Well, that's very important to put that in there, because then that's the accountability piece that is kind of built into the agreement. This is what I'm expecting from you as an agent.
Yeah.
This is what you can expect from me. So it starts that off, I believe, on the right foot when you do that. So
Yeah, and then you didn't have those pitfalls, yeah.
So, would you say your team leans more towards the buyer side or the listing side?
We're definitely buyers agents. You know, as of right now, the time being, we've so many leads coming in through Zillow and Google that we're taking, and they're all buyers. And the craziest thing is, it's like 80%, if not more, is all out-of-state buyers right now.
Any particular state, like California?
I've got
everywhere.
This month, we've had multiple closings for people from California, people from Utah, Colorado. We have one from Florida that closed yesterday. So it's more or less, we've seen a lot of California and one from Florida, but majority is California, and then some from the Midwest.
would you say, this brings up a question, you're more of a leads-driven team?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have that, so you kind of had that before you even started the team,
right? Yes, yes.
So
Did that prompt you to start a team? Was
It
there
did,
so much?
that's
it
what I was
did,
getting
yeah,
at.
it absolutely did. So, back at the old brokerage, I had a friend that needed help with some Zillow leads, so I started helping her, and it became a big thing, and we were moving a lot of inventory, but we decided to kind of go our own separate ways, and came here and started doing the Zillow, and you know, we've got so much coming in. If I could go back to the days of where we were paying $5,000 to $10,000 a month to Zillow based on the season, because I mean, right now we're looking at like Zillow this month's gotten a $40-some thousand check, you know, because they get a part of that commission. But yeah, we're leads driven. We do a lot of Zillow's primarily it. We've done some Google, but working on something really special right now. Hopefully it'll hit in the next 2 weeks.
So,
So
we'll have to talk about that.
the team doesn't know about it yet. It's something that's been hush hush. I'm working on.
We'll find out if any of them are watching this now.
I know, right? They're all gonna be blowing me up. Thankfully, my wife's got the phone out there, so call her. Well, she doesn't even know. So
That sounds exciting.
yeah, I have some exciting stuff going on.
So let me ask you this, and
Yeah.
excuse me for one second. So if you're majority buyers, and so to me, when I had a team, my thing was if you get one deal, there's two with it.
Yeah.
If you're
Oh, I
smart,
was, yep.
there's always two more with it, and then there's two more with each of those. And
Yep.
So how do you address that from a team standpoint? If you're you're the big guy on campus saying here, Zillow lead, Zillow
Right.
lead. How many guys on your team, if I can ask?
Right now we have 7.
Okay, so if everyone gets a lead a week, or what, I don't know what the numbers look like, but let's say, okay, here's a lead, here's a lead, here's a lead. You only close a certain percentage. Some leads are good, some leads are bad. There's a lot to it.
Sure.
How do you address the follow-up business from the Zillow leads? Because then those are no longer Zillow's not getting a piece. Now that's yours, or that's
Right.
your agent.
Yeah.
So how do you address that?
Well, everything is, if I'm understanding the question properly, so everything is just ran through our CRM, and you know, our CRM has AI, so it communicates with people as well. But if you're talking about like the 2-for-1s, right? So yeah, if the Zillow lead comes in, sometimes they're just a buyer, sometimes it's a buyer and seller, but then, you know, there's that referral that you get from them. So you give them that great customer service.
So do you have a drip program
We
for them,
do,
or
yeah.
does each individual agent have a program,
We
or do you
do.
provide them?
Yep, I provide it all. It's through the CRM. There's team templates. There's probably about 30 different templates that you can choose from, depending upon where that person is in the stage of purchasing or selling a home. That email goes out. It's system's just phenomenal.
What is it, can I ask?
Chime.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joshua Heron, you told me to get Chime.
I love Chime. It's probably the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me and the team.
We're doing.
She's researching that right
I
now.
was
That's why
researching
she's
them all.
sitting
We did
here.
pick Lion Desk, which I know is very simple. It's more basic. But listen, I wanted something where my agents are all different. They want to do different things, and they are working both. They are both buyers agents and sellers agents. I'm very, we've got listings coming up. They've all done listings and sales. But as far as lead gen and all of that, I teach them to work their database.
Oh, yeah.
But open house, we can go through pillars of business, pick your 3 that you like, but you're successful in. But we are just working on funneling those leads through from our lead source to just working with an agent after this on that to our CRM, and then setting up those different campaigns. So we're a little newer with that, and they're newer agents, and I didn't want to overwhelm them with the contact management system. I wanted them to keep it pretty simple, and I like it. It's easy. I like it. But Josh will go here and is like, "You're going to graduate to Chime. You're going to love it."
It's amazing.
So
really
okay, fine, baby steps. But
Yeah.
we're really liking Line Desk, and it's much better than it was in the beginning, and I really like it a lot.
So as a military guy,
Yeah.
when you go through boot camp, they get 80 guys in a room and they figure out who the dumbest, who the slowest. So they find the lowest common denominator in the room, and they say, okay, we're going to break all you guys down to his level. And then they build you up. So when you get done with boot camp, now you are all lean, mean, fighting
Yeah.
machine.
Oh, good.
That's the way our military works, okay? So Lion Desk.
Is our boot camp.
So Lion Desk, lawyers, I was like, all right, I need a new CRM because I was using like notepads and sticky notes, and it was really bad. Like my whole career has been, I have to see it. It's like an old guy thing. Or
I've
something.
got it too.
So at that time, my rep was Amanda Briggs at Lawyers, and she said, Johnny, I think the best thing for you would be Lion's Desk because it's huge. It can be huge.
Yes.
But it's simple enough
It
that
is.
you can understand
It
it
is.
because
Yeah.
if it gets too technical,
Yes.
I run from it and I'll avoid it. I mean, it probably has cost me money so many times because I'm like, I just don't get it. I
Yes.
feel stupid or something. So Lions Desk, I've heard that too. Lions
Yeah.
Desk is a perfect entry,
It's
and then Chime, you never have to go anywhere.
Well,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
one touch, right?
Yeah, and the nice thing about that too is though, you're still required to do your follow-up with your leads, right? You can't just leave Chime to do everything for you. It'll send an
If
email.
it was that easy, everybody would do it.
That's a really
It's
important
just
thing you
plug
said because that's so true. I mean, there's the automation that you need as a business, but the personal touch can never go away. In fact, a lot of people relied so much on automation and they stopped doing those personal touch calls. You can't do that.
Right.
It just doesn't work. It's not as effective or even efficient. But I do want to add one thing, and that is the difference between them, because it is important for anybody out there that's thinking CRMs. Lion Desk is a CRM. It's just a CRM, where Chime is an all-in-one system.
Yeah.
So there is a difference for that. So
Yeah.
if you don't, you can reach out to me if you have questions on that. I'm happy to go. We don't have enough time to really get into it now, but I just wanted to explain
They'll give you
that.
about 15 or 20 to
Yeah,
research.
there's different systems, and they work, they can work well for any team. You just find the one that works for you. And then I always get asked the question, what's the best CRM? And I always say the one you use.
Right.
So
Exactly.
it's finding
Use
that
it.
one that works for you and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
becoming the expert at
Sure.
it.
So your team is lead driven.
Yes.
What's the
Source?
allure of your team for agents? Are you
Good question.
doing leads as well, or is it
We
more
do-
mentorship?
No, we do leads as well, but I would say definitely mentorship, and just training them how to be awesome agent. I think that service, I think TLG or our group is definitely founded on excellent service, repeat, referral, but yeah, and teaching them how to create their own leads is important to me because, a lot of those times those leads are, when you have to go through 40 of them to get one or even
Yeah.
more, and that's fine, but if you don't have the systems in place, which is why, we're starting to integrate more of that too. John?
So let me throw something out that with all due respect to both of your teams, because what you're doing is what you're doing, and I'm not judging in any way. Here's a great example of two completely different kind of teams as the way I see it.
Sure.
Your guys it's not holding their hands through it, it's throwing them in the water, figure out how to swim, because they're doing deals. Here's a lead, go get it, go do this. Write up a contract, take them out, show them homes, this and that.
Right.
Whereas I think yours is a little more hand holding, let me walk you through this process. Where they don't have time Am I close or am I not insulting anybody? It seems,
No,
seems to me like yours is a Chicago. Get
Yeah.
go work. Here, go talk to
you're not
these people.
shoving it out
But
at
you
you.
guys have a
No, I'm not
structure.
saying that you don't. Please don't.
No, I totally get it. But yeah, it is basically, I mean, there's mentorship, there's training. And I honestly, the one thing that I tell all new agents is, have you read a contract? Have you read a buyer's agreement?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, a
It's
buyer's
what you say.
advisory?
We talk about that a lot.
You know,
What do I say?
you're having your client sign this, but do you know what's on there?
Yeah.
You know, so I do teach that, and I do those trainings, but majority of it is, yeah, here's a lead, go lock it in, right? And I'll help you. You know, there's Binzers, appraisals, all of that, you know, we've had those obstacles. Hey, this person said they don't want to fix this. I'm scared to tell my client. Well, no, let's see what it is, right? Or appraisal came in low. How do we negotiate that? How do we save this deal? You know, so there's that too, but a lot of it is, here's his lead, you know.
So let's not wrap it up, but let's encapsulate everything that you've said. So we talked a little bit about where your deals are coming from: Colorado, Florida, California.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I do a lot of relocation too. I don't know if you know this or not, but I have billboards all over Chicago
Oh yeah.
telling people, "Hey, are you done with this? Call me. I'll help you
I'll
move."
go post it. Are they good locations? Because I mean,
I'll show you the location, and you'll go. I would definitely.
I still got family out there. They could go out and spray paint my name.
So if they're on I-55,
That's great.
Your face on it.
I-55 in the Grange Road
Okay.
billboard, right up by O'Hare, and then I've got 2 downtown. And the biggest thing, the reason that I get the business for relocation over my competition is when they call, I tell them 2 things. I tell them, look, real estate is different in Arizona. There's no attorney involved.
Yeah.
So we're a
Right.
non-judicial state. So your choice in realtor is super important because they're going to act
Yeah.
as your attorney along with the title company. So you got to have a great title company in the transaction here. And the second thing is you should make sure that your realtor can tell you how many sections are in the contract,
Sure.
what each subsection says, all of it. And I'm going to get on my high horse again. I have copies of Binzer, contract, spuds. I have copies of everything in my bathroom. I sit there for a couple minutes every day,
Yeah.
and that's what I read. I
And
just
especially-
read the contract, read
Yeah.
the contract, read the contract, because knowledge is power. So especially with relocation. And then another thing I want to tell you, my title agent brought me in a list the other day of the top, I think it was 50, the top 50 places people are coming to Arizona from. And I had to bet every dime in my pocket it was Illinois or California.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, a
true.
lot of.
Colorado.
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 Colorado was higher than any of them. I was
Really?
shocked.
Wow. I would have thought it was California, Illinois. too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was Colorado.
Yeah, I just had a Colorado buyer.
So now I'm going to get some billboards in Colorado.
His third thing is probably saying, if you're a Cubs fan, forget it, you can't move here.
Oh, he doesn't like the Cubs?
No.
Me either.
Yeah, let's put this to
Oh,
rest.
yeah.
Let's put this to
Sorry.
rest once and for all.
Michael and I know what to do with this.
I
I think you guys and I care more about it than the players do.
I know.
All they care about is the name on the
Right,
book. They don't
right.
give a shit what the name is on the front. They really don't. None of them do. And I've had it with them and
Oh.
whatever.
Oh.
Hockey starts tomorrow. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Hockey starts tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, let me check
Can't
and
wait.
see if we've got
Blackhawks.
somebody.
Yeah.
Peter Fischette said, "Amy, you're doing great, even though you're outnumbered."
Oh, thanks, Peter. Peter's from Springfield, Illinois. He's ADT. Does the
Oh, really?
security? Yeah.
Okay,
Are you Cubs fan or Sox fan?
I-
Stephanie Perlman Garcia. What is the #1 benefit of joining a team for a new agent?
Oh, support,
Oh, yeah.
encouragement, knowing how to get the deal done, not losing a deal, capturing the deal.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, I
Everybody
mean,
catch that?
Yeah.
Not losing a deal.
especially
Yeah.
as a super competitive market out there. I have I have a page that's about how to capture the deal when you have multiple offers. So the agent can just look. It's about establishing rapport with the listing agent. I can't go into it. We have 2 more minutes, but yeah, making sure they not only capture that business, but make sure it happens, closes.
You got to lead. What do you do with it now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you? Yeah. So the training is definitely #1.
Yeah. Plus, like, the camaraderie, the support. This is not easy. People think it's easy money. It's not easy money, but it's fun, and I love it.
Yeah.
It is fun.
So here's what I'm going to say about teams. If you're considering joining a team, don't just settle. Don't settle for a team because you think, well, I'll get that out of it. There's enough teams here to find exactly what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
And we don't invite you guys on to help you build your team or whatever, but certainly if you want to get a hold of either of these guys to find out about their team, certainly, absolutely do that. My suggestion would be to definitely evaluate what's important to you, and if you don't know what's important to you, if you're that new of an agent,
Come in and talk.
yeah, come in and talk to somebody here that's
Reach
not
out to
on a
myself,
team.
yeah.
That can help you with. I'm not going to steer you to one team or another. That's not my position. Mike, it's kind of his responsibility, or one of the things he does here is he helps get people with the right people to help them out. So that's kind of a Mike thing. But my door's always open, as is Larry's door's always open, and all these. There's a ton of people that can help you. I had a kid the other day. He sits downstairs. He's here on the weekends. I'm usually the only one in here on the weekends. This kid's been down there the other day. I introduced myself. His name is Schmaltz or something. And he's on the Lawton team, which has 100 agents.
Oh, at least.
Man, that kid's in there. He's asking me questions. He's young. Actually, he's not as young as he looks. He looks really young, but he's not quite that. But he's got that appearance of being. Man, that's awesome. He's just listening. He's like, hey, I heard you say this the other day. What does that mean? So no matter what team, if you're looking for a team, no matter what team you're on, don't forget that my home group has built a culture of help. Everybody's here to help. My billboards have been very successful. I don't know a lot of brokerages where somebody would outright tell everybody what their success is. It's working for me.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to know how I do it, I'm more than happy to share.
Yeah.
It's not like I control Chicago.
You had one of my agents in your office already, Katie Watson. You may know her, blonde, real pretty girl. She's just doing 2 listings right now. She's taking pictures of the property.
In my office.
You opened your office to her. The moment she came, the first time she came to the office, oh, I'm Johnny Walker. If you ever need anything, come on in.
Always.
She said, oh, I met Johnny, and yeah.
Always.
And,
I'm always available to help.
Yeah, but you said something important, and if you don't mind me jumping in there, is that
I do my no, I'm just kidding.
you really do got to know what's important to you, and you got to forget about the money, right? You got to forget about how much you're going to make. I mean, even though it's important to know where you're going, but you got to figure out what it is that you need for yourself. Is it the extra level of training and support that you need? You really got to kind of dig deep and figure out, okay, these are the things that are very important to me, and those are the questions you're going to ask each team that you interview to make sure that those important things are being addressed in your interview. Because that way you're not hopping from the team to team either. You're really focusing on what is important, because every team's going to have a certain level of training, systems, platforms, all that stuff to you. So make sure that what's really important to you is getting answered when you're interviewing with teams.
And you got to figure out too what your long-term goals are too. There's been teams here, and I won't mention the names of the teams, but the people that own the team loved seeing their name everywhere. Not so much the agents that were on their team. That to me,
same here.
That's an ego trip, and
That's the opposite.
you're building your own business. So no matter what team you go on, it's still your business.
Yeah.
It's still you're the owner of your business.
Yes.
So I don't know you guys super well, but I feel like I know you much better today. And I've seen shitty team runners. I mean, I'll call them right out. I won't say their names. And I've seen people that have teams here that are no longer here, but they just didn't have. No, it's not an awe thing. It's like yeah, you don't fit. My home group's it's just got a feel in here, and it's never going to be, Mike Marlowe did more business than me. I'm going to kick his ass. We're all part of the same team ultimately. So it's true. And then you guys both actually definitely have that feel for your team. I'm so happy you guys. So we got to talk a little bit.
Thank
about
you.
Real quick, wrap it up. So, what are you looking for in an agent? Are you looking to hire right now? Are you looking to bring on more?
Absolutely, yeah. I'd love to interview anyone. tell you about the team, show you and tell you what I can do for you. We provide, if you want leads, we can work on that. If you just want mentorship and someone to hold your hand throughout the process, do that as well.
Okay.
Ditto, that's it.
So you're both looking to grow your
Yeah,
team.
absolutely,
Yeah.
sure.
So
Yeah.
reach out. You can post a comment here if you're interested in talking with them, or any other additional questions. So make sure to post it in the group there.
And as far as team, like if you want to get a hold of either of these two, or if you're looking for a team, Mike's your guy. Get a hold of Mike. Mike has a feel for all the different teams, and he can put you guys in touch.
We want to shout out to our partners that are out there. Lawyers Title, Muscular Movie Men's out there. I know Magnus Title.
Fairway Mortgage.
Yeah, VIP Mortgage, and lots of great people out there. We want to
Kelly
thank you.
Assessor, she's pretty good.
Kelly
Yeah, she's
Harris.
good.
Harris.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've known you for so long. Kelly Harris,
Yeah.
Sean Harris's wife.
Who just got his first deal, right?
No, he's under contract.
Oh, under contract. Fantastic.
So thank you.
Kelly is
all.
going to have a kid in college. Whoa. All right, so that's it.
That's it.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Have a great Friday.
Thank you
Have a
so
great
much.
day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're out.
We're out. We're done. That's it.
Good job, guys.
See? Super easy.
No, I'm never.